Hi folks, I'm Matt Easton, and amongst other things, I'm a reenactor and a fencer.
Cool. Okay, right, here we are. Hi there everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to my channel. I'm here with Matt Easton from Schola Gladiatoria.
Hi folks.
If you know his channel, then you'll recognise the backdrop. I've come over here, we've spent some time together, we've been doing some videos, it's been great.
Lots of filming, lots of videos coming out, so yeah.
Yeah, when we were chatting about what we wanted to do, we were trying to come up with some ideas, and I asked you if you had ever heard of a document called the Apparel for the Field.
Yeah.
You said
well,
no.
I think you said, what about we do a video about that? And I said, what?
Yes. Yeah.
What is that? Come again?
Because last time we met up and specifically for videos, we had a look at a document, How a Man Shall Be Armed, which is famous,
super famous, I think, isn't it?
And that one explains how an Englishman should be armed if he's going to fight on foot in the 15th century. Now, the Apparel for the Field is later. It's kind of 1480s to 1510, rather than 1450.
And is it English?
It's English.
Okay.
And
so it's end of the Wars of the Roses rather than beginning of the Wars of the Roses.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah,
yeah. Interesting.
And it's not about tournament foot fighting. It's about what you need in the field. Yeah. So apparel for the field. So
it's theoretically field armor as opposed to tournament armor and different considerations, right?
And it's a really long list. Okay, it goes on and on, and it explains what you need if you're in different ranks. So it's got the rank of a baron or a rich bachelor, and also the rank of a poorer knight or a squire, because squires at that time is something different. As some of our viewers, squires are not just the people that put the armour on you. No,
my understanding is at that time in England, a squire is essentially like what we'd think of as a knight, but they're not knighted.
Yes.
And so therefore they have lower pay, lower obligations, and usually a correspondingly lower standard of or requirement for equipment.
So, and you do find some squires were richer than knights because they didn't have the same obligations and the same stuff that they had to
And some people didn't want to get knighted, did they? Because it could come with things you didn't want to have to do as a knight.
Exactly. So there's something that one of the things, like about armor, about weapons and things, in this list of things that people are supposed to have with them, it includes some multiples. So I thought it would be fun. I'll see if Matt, with his knowledge, can guess the 3 things that a knight is supposed to have multiples of if he's going into the field.
And are these, so just to narrow it down slightly, rather than like loaves of bread or servants or something, are these bits of equipment?
Yeah, so talking specifically about armour.
Right. So
armour and accoutrement of armour, I should say. Okay.
So I'm guessing pairs of points for attaching armour to things.
So it says that they should have a good collection of points. So it doesn't.
Okay, so that's outside of it. It just says a whole bunch. Okay. Because as we know, that's one of the things that perish. Yeah, and are also very, very important.
But you're thinking along the right lines for the first one.
Right. It's a spare arming doublet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay.
So you're supposed to have 2 arming doublets, and that's
in case one breaks. Yeah. Presumably.
Yeah. And I actually, when I fell off of my horse at Arundel Castle, we had a double unhorsing. We both hit each other so hard, we both came out either side.
Does that hurt?
Not at the time because of the adrenaline, but I was absolutely bruised all down my side. The armour did its job, but the impact fell through. And one of the things that ripped was my arming doublet.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah,
because just the force of it. So absolutely, spare arming doublet. What else do you think?
And I should also mention, even just the wear and tear you get on an arming doublet. Seams are under huge amounts of stress. And so arming doublet, I think that makes sense and is fairly guessable. There are 2 other things that
you need.
Oh God! 2 of alternate helmets.
Yep.
Ah,
You're doing this. You're doing really well. Yeah. It doesn't say what they should be, but
Okay.
it says that you should have your 2 helmets and
Yeah.
that they should have matching plumes.
Interesting.
So,
I mean, my assumption is you want one for horseback and one for foot, but that might not be the case. Depends what you're wearing on horseback, doesn't it? But you might wear an armet on horse and a sallet on foot, or in this date anyway. Earlier date, it could be a great bassinet on foot, and then I don't know, something else on.
Yeah, I'd probably describe it as like a heavy helmet and a light helmet, right?
Yeah,
because you might, and there's so much crossover at this point with closed helmets that look like sallets and sallets that look like something else. So I think there is a lot of crossover, but yeah, I think you're right. It's probably to do with something for heavy cavalry work, maybe in 1480s, and then something for light.
In the 1480s in England, I'd imagine something like an early close helmet or an armet for cavalry, and then a sallet for foot. Like so there's a third thing, which you're going to have more than one of.
Yep.
Can you give me a clue, like how many of?
Think along the same lines. So if we're thinking
the first
cavalry and infantry.
Right. Blimey. So there are 2 things which I don't feel confident about, but which I might guess. One might be different, so like a brigandine and a cuirass.
Okay, yeah. So they do say you need a brigandine as well. So you need full white harness and a brigandine.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So that is one. That wasn't the one that I'm thinking.
Okay. And but that is really super interesting because often I think people have a tendency in the modern world to go, "Oh, brigandines are worn by that type of soldier, and cuirasses are worn by that type of soldier." When in reality, one type of soldier might wear either in different situations and might own multiples.
The brigandine is even in the list for the Baron.
Oh, nice. So okay, cool. I'm a big fan of brigandines. So, okay, so I could take that as a minor victory. I'm reluctant to say this because I think it's either right or it's completely idiotic. Gauntlets?
No.
Okay, so my thinking, just let me explain my thinking. Not necessarily that you would have different types of gauntlets like you might do with helmets, but more that gauntlets can break quite easily when they're hit. And if you've got broken gauntlets, you quickly need another pair of gauntlets. So that would be my thinking. But
well, I'm glad you didn't get all of them first. That would have been a.
So you said about mounted or foot.
Yeah.
I don't. What's different about mounted? Oh, different shoulder, different pauldrons, spaulders.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Leg armor.
Okay, so I thought about saying leg armor, but what would be different about the leg armor?
So I was thinking, it was the helmets that kind of sparked me on this. They're specifically calling out leg armor. So it says that you need a white harness with 2 types of helmet.
Yeah.
And then it also says that you should have an extra pair of leg armor. So my thinking is that you might have 1 pair with fully enclosed creases and 1 pair with open creases. It doesn't go into details, but it's an interesting thought. Unless
it's like my gauntlet guess, in that they're like, well, when leg armor breaks, you desperately need another leg armor quickly, and so maybe it's just backup leg armor, like the arming doublet.
Yeah, that's another possibility.
If only they gave a bit more detail.
I know.
Like, 1 pair of leg armor for X, Y, and Z, and another pair of leg armor. It's interesting, isn't it? And it's funny because talking about the brigandine and the leg armor, you often see in period manuscripts, you'll often see someone wearing the same arms and legs as they would wear with the cuirass, but with a brigandine. So it almost looks like they've gone, oh, we're going to get this cuirass on, stick a brigandine on. There we go. It's a bit more comfy, but they've still got the same leg armor and arm armor as they'd wear otherwise. So it's not always different armors. It's sometimes mixed and matched.
Yeah. And I wonder as well, with the English way of fighting and the English design of armor, where you have sometimes the points of plates that as being separate to the breastplate itself. There's some art that seems to suggest brigandines being worn with folds and things like that.
I don't know. And then there's also linguistic problems because if I remember correctly, paunce is sometimes used to describe the male skirt.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's really, really interesting. What other sort of things are on the list?
There's loads and loads of stuff, and maybe we'll do another video.
Okay, yeah, cool. I'll be up for that. But I definitely want to read this list.
Yeah,
I want to know what's on it. And...
I'll send it through. And for you guys, you can check it out in the description down below. So thank you very much, guys. Check out Matt's channel. We're doing quite a few collaborations, and we've even talked about even more plans and things for the future. And yeah, thank you very much.
Cool.
Cash and I would really like to thank you for watching this far into the video. Either you really liked it and you stayed this long, you really disagreed with most of the stuff in it and now you're very angry and typing a comment, or maybe you've just left a playlist playing and it's cropped up. If it's the first one, please do feel free to leave a like and or share, and if you haven't already, then subscribe. Thank you very much to my patrons for all of the support, and you can find a link to that and to my merch shop in the description down below. Thank you very much. Cash doesn't actually mind either way. I don't think she knows too much about YouTube. Do you go?